we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for a Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
Okay, great.
To throw at the outset, here's Hurts. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Buried behind the line by Azeez Ojulari.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. He's going deep for Brown. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Eagles send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Give him 3 on the return, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The former number 6 overall pick of 2019, Daniel Jones, trots out to lead this New York Giants offense. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
The throw over the middle, taken in, and the tackle going to be made at the 38.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now Jones. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There's a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
He's got the leg, but it's no good. He missed it right, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
They go play action with Hurts. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Quez Watkins, 35 yards. And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. In today's NFL, we talked about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And you get a look at the final readout on air distance, according to Next Gen Stats. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Just a 4-play drive that time. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. But I believe the Giants got this back, and they will hold on to the possession. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing Jones. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Hassan Reddick, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And he'll take it just outside the 40. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Hurts. And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. .44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be second and a couple. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. On to punt, Jamie Gillen. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Taken from just outside the 30. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Second down, back to Sanders. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly who the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Ready, set.
On first and 10, it's Sanders. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. First and 10 at the 38. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Kayvon Thibodeau, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Touchdown, Philadelphia! A.J. Brown, 46 yards. And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Elliott on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The New York set to take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Off play action. Jones. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Jones. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kaiser White. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Ready?
On 2nd and 7, Hurts. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Hurts. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And the Giants ready to come out now. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
And you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Jones throw on target to Shepard. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From just shy of midfield, Jones running right through him. And now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And fortunately, he's able to get this one back, so it is a first down. Fortunately for him, that ball stayed close so that he could recover it on his own.
And you know the prayers that were going through his head as the ball escaped from him? How happy was he at the end of it when he found it?
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Hassan Reddick able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. Gano's kick is good, and they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing it to break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Giants about set to go to begin this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback.
He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Yeah, he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. Barkley, inside handoff. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kaiser White, the former safety, gets the sack. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack. After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Now Jones on 3rd down. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked him. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And the Giants are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Up the middle with Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They've not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Brandon Graham applied the heat off the edge.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
A solid stiff arm. 53 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Right back to Sanders on first down. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Here's Hurts to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith, 28 yards. And the Eagles will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. 5 plays there on that drive, and it was finished off by a touchdown from Devontae Smith. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The New York set to take the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the... And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Operating from the gun, Jones. James has got it, complete. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Looking to throw. Jones. That's complete left side to Shepard. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Back to throw. Jones being chased out left. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. That's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. That frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. He's got Bellinger. Down inside the 10. Touchdown! Daniel Bellinger, 34 yards. And the Giants are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Extra point try good by Gano. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. So that drive 7 plays in length. And it was finished off with a touchdown by Daniel Bellinger. Taken in at the 3. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now, whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. They'll go again with Sanders. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 87 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he's taken down inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
He was brought down there by Julian Love.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
This offense on third down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders from 17 yards out. And the Eagles have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter.
And while no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name, they should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with the touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Jones throwing on 3rd and long. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's Jamie Gillen down as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Taking on the midfield logo. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Okay, great. Ready.
Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Let's go now.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Another run with Sanders. And he's going to be met at about the 43. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Towards the end zone for Brown. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. He'll fire a desperation throw for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Giants are going to get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
This pass into the hands of Bellinger.
And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Jones now throwing on first down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And to be frank, Charles, probably not too many people surprised at how this one turned out.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I mean, they're such a good football team. They were at home. You know, you walked in and you looked at the advantages and you saw that they had most of them. And it'd take a lot to try and even it up. I just thought two words for this ball game: methodical and predictable. And both of them came together.
Yeah. You're in the presence of the realest essence I've been serving.